Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Mike and this is Build and Tinker, and we're back with the 1989 Batmobile from Fanhome. We're going to finish off the suspension that we started in the last video, so we'll complete the rear suspension and mount it to the subframe which we get with this pack. We'll also do the suspension on the other side and start on the brakes. And interestingly, we get to build one of the front mounted machine guns as well, so looking forward to that. So without further ado, let's get started. Now in this pack we get one of our first free gifts, and it's this Batman mug, a rather nice black mug with the logo on both sides. Rather nice addition to the mug collection. We get a lot of mugs with these different part works. But before I start, can I ask you a quick favour? If you haven't already, can you please click that subscribe button? It doesn't cost you a thing and it really helps me out because it means Google will put my video in front of more viewers, and hopefully we can spread the word of Build and Tinker far and wide. And more viewers for me means I can do more models. So I really appreciate if you can do that. Like I said, it costs you nothing. So in our last video we covered the assembly of this suspension component, and it's from the left rear wheel. Then we have our working springs. It's mostly metal, so it's quite a nice heavy piece. And we're going to be adding some parts to that, and these are the parts that we get. We have this swing arm here, a handful of brackets, and they call this the left steering arm. So if we take the steering arm with this piece here facing upwards, and then the bracket goes over the end facing that way, I'm going to put quite a long F screw through it. And the screw goes through from this side and it screws into this captive nut on the other. Okay, and that needs to obviously still move. Then we're going to take this control arm and we're going to do a similar thing with the remaining two brackets. They're going to attach to these ends here. Of course, we want to drive these screws in from the outside, which means the threaded elements need to be on the inside. And then we have both sides done. And now we take the suspension element that we made in the last issue and we're going to add the steering arm to it. So this end of the steering arm comes up underneath this bracket here and just fits in like that. And we're going to put a screw in the top, and that's a type G screw. And then similarly with the upper control arm, that needs to sit over the top. Now there is a curve to this. You see how that's curved, so the curve needs to go that way to sit like so. Again, another G. But this piece actually needs to insert through the spring like so. So it's going to go in between those two springs, just underneath, if you can see, like that. And then it will sit on top of that bracket. And then we put the screw in. And that's that assembly complete like that. And we don't do anything further for this issue, but obviously this is going to live on the rear side of the car on the left. And that's it for issue 15. So we'll move on to issue 16 now. So in issue 16, we get this rear subframe and a couple of brackets, a few screws, and a very teeny tiny little screwdriver. I probably won't be using it, but there's a cover on it. There we go. It's a very small Phillips. It looks to be a bit smaller than my PH0. But the screws they've given us aren't particularly small, so I'm not quite sure why they felt we needed it, because these screws are all PH0 by the looks of it. So I'll put that to one side. There's two little metal brackets here and here, and then this subframe. Now I am quite surprised to discover on opening that this subframe is actually made of plastic. It's not metal. It's just sort of ABS injection molded or something. I'm surprised because obviously this is predominantly a die-cast metal model, and also this is a structural component. So I'm sure it'll be fine, but I have to say I am a little disappointed. I would have preferred if this was made of metal. So we start by installing these brackets onto the frame here. And they are the same, they carry the same part number, so they are just going to sit over here, and we need to make sure we get them the right way up. And they simply drop over like so, and as you can see there's two screw holes in each. We put type D screws in there. And just remember, you're screwing into plastic. Even though the brackets are metal, the main frame we're screwing into is plastic, so don't over tighten these. And now we need to mount this suspension assembly onto this frame. There's a few mounting points. 2 of them are here on this upper wishbone that we just installed. There's another one here on the steering arm we just installed, and then there's one here on this lower arm, which I think we installed some time ago. And they screw into these holes on the side here. Now we've got these upper mounts on these control arms go into the middle set holes. The lower ones go into these lower set holes, and then you'll see these holes here on these brackets we just installed. They're for these top mounts for the suspension. So it's all going to sit a bit like that. It's going to be a bit fiddly as bits kind of flop about the place, but we'll get it bit by bit into place. So I've got it positioned like this. I'm just about holding it into place while I get the first screw in. Okay. Now my normal Vera screwdriver was a bit long to go in there, and the tiny weeny one they gave us with this pack was way too small to give me any real torque and turning power. But this one I happen to have lying around from one of my part works seemed to fit in there quite nicely. Okay, so we've got the 2 bottom ones in here and the middle row as well, and then we've just got to do these ones here at the top of the suspension mounts. These ones take a different screw. They take the type R screw. This actually goes in pretty easy. Okay, and that's the suspension now attached to the side of this subframe. And as you can see, it's quite well attached, and the subframe's reasonably stiff. So maybe we don't need to be too worried about it being plastic. We'll see when it's finished. But that's the end of issue 16, so we move on to issue 17 now. So in issue 17, we're assembling the right-hand rear suspension, and it's pretty much the same as what we did with the left-hand one, which I think was issue 14 from memory. It comes with the springs already assembled. We have this sort of hub knuckle, a control arm, a bracket, and some screws. So it doesn't take too long to put it together. So let's look at step 1. Well, interestingly, there's actually a mistake in the instructions. So they seem to skip a step. They show us the parts list, and then they show us attaching this assembled piece to the main knuckle. But of course, we need to assemble this first, so they've missed a bit. Looking at the pictures, then we're going to have to determine how it goes from the pictures. This piece goes into this kind of fork, like so, with the angle facing upwards. Difficult to hold it steady. So that's going to go like that with that angle facing upwards. And there's obviously a screw going to have to go through from the opposite side where we've got the larger of the 2 holes. My guess is it's an F because it's a long screw. And we came with some F screws in the packet. And then we'll screw that one down like that. Again, it needs to rotate. We also have to attach this bracket. Again, I'm going from the pictures because they've completely skipped this instruction. So we have to put this bracket on the end here. And then another F screw through there. If we're going to match the picture, the screw needs to come through from the underside up to here. And then this hub arrangement just sits like that so that we can then pop a G screw into that hole there. I just switched over to the slightly larger screwdriver to be able to get that all the way home because it's quite a tight fit. So, and that's it completed. They're not asking us to do anything more in this issue. But interesting that we were missing a whole 2 steps there of assembling that part. They just skipped straight to putting it onto the suspension element. But there was a blank page in the magazine, and I'm starting to see more and more of these sort of avoidable errors in these instruction magazines. We've had a few over the last few models where they've mentioned incorrect screw sizes or completely missed a piece, or the picture was backwards, or just completely unintelligible. You couldn't make out what it was you were trying to do. But still, it's not a big deal. We got it sorted. Life goes on, right? And this is actually where videos like mine do come in useful, because I can go through and figure this stuff out. And hopefully it helps you guys out too. So let's move on to issue 18, because 17 is now done. And just like on the previous side, when we did the other suspension, the next thing we did was assemble the brake disc, and we're going to do the same here. We actually start with, again, this suspension piece, because we're going to put, before we put the disc together and the backing plate on, we're going to put the caliper in place. Now the caliper sits just here. You can see there's a hole with these 2 little posts to line it up. And it sits just like that, and then we're going to put a screw up from behind it. It's a size A screw. And as you can see, a single screw through the back there holds that nice and firmly in place. And with that attached, we can take our rear cover plate or brake plate, and that's going to sit over here. Again, it's sort of shaped so it will only go one way. And just pushes nicely into place like so. Then we need to assemble the brake disc. It comes in two parts. There's the rear, which has got these embossed elements for the venting, and then the front, which is smooth because we're going to put a metal stick-on plate onto that. So first they need to come together with the centre holes aligned, like so. But before we actually attach anything else, we need to stick the metal brake disc on, and there it is there. It's self-adhesive, looks pretty cool. I like these metal brake discs, they have a really nice look to them. And it just goes straight over the top of here. There we go, and sticks down. And then we can put our centre cap on, which goes over the top. It's the centre part of the brake rotor. If we hold that together and turn it over, you see we've got two screw holes. We take two of these little eye screws, and they screw in just gently there. You don't need to overstress them, they're only going into plastic. Okay, and with those fully screwed in, they'll be nice and flush. And just as it was before, we don't actually attach the rotor yet. In fact, I still have the other rotor here from the left-hand side that we haven't installed yet. And that's it, issue 18 over and done with already. So pretty quick and short issue. So we'll move on to issue 19. So as you can probably tell from the parts in front of me, issue 19 is pretty much the same as issue 15. It's just for the other side of the car. So it's the same as what we just did a few minutes ago. So I'll get that done and then move on to issue 20. And there is the right side rear suspension now also attached to this subframe. So it's coming along quite nicely. We've got quite a lot of the rear part of the car suspension and brakes done. I'm not sure when we'll get to mount this to anything, but it's looking pretty good. So let's move on to issue 20. And on the table we have the components from issue 20, and we've moved to a completely different part of the car. We've got one of the machine guns from the front. There's one on either side. Sits sort of just behind the front wheels. This is the main body of the machine gun. They're both die-cast metal pieces. This is metal as well, as is that piece. It's a couple of plastic bits. And then a spring, dreaded spring. I've had a few of these twanging across the room over the years, and they don't give you any spares, so you're going to have to be careful with that one. I'll just slide all that to one side, because we're starting with this part of the gun, and this here, which is a sort of a, what do they call it? A support cylinder. So we're going to put the piston inside the main part of the cylinder there. Okay, it was a bit of a stiff fit, but it does slide in and out. It's a bit stiff. And the black end goes over the top of that post there in this piece of body. I think if you can get some form of grease on there, something that's not going to chew through the plastic, because that piece is plastic, then it's worth doing, because it was a bit stiff to move. A type L screw holds that in place. And with that screw in place, we turn our attention to the main body of the gun. So we're going to take this side here. So it's got, see this one has part of a barrel on it. We're taking the one that doesn't. I'll bring you in a bit closer. And then there's this housing, this sort of cover. It's just going to sit loosely for now. So it sits like so. We're going to let it just rest there. This piece here is the firing pin. And it's got a little post sticking out that we're going to gently put the one end of the spring over. This other part of the firing pin mechanism is going to go through that hole down here. You need to start it off at this end, then slide it across. And then actually, it's probably easier to put the spring on afterwards, and then without letting it ping across the room, push the other end of the spring down so that it's captive inside this enclosure. Now I'm going to keep one thumb firmly over the top of that, and then we take this piece here we assembled, and the silver piston end goes over that post there. This one's going to come back around to sit over this screw hole here. Might need to compress the piston slightly. And with all this precariously balanced together, this half then goes over the top to clamp it down. Somehow nothing fell out. And we do need to get a type H screw in there. And then obviously another one at this end. And then this cap here just pushes into place over that screw hole. Okay, so that's our little machine gun done. It does move a bit on this piston, but not very much. The range of motion is tiny, so it's probably more for show than anything else. And our little firing pin here does seem to work. Nothing comes out though. But there we are, one gun. I think this is the left-hand one. It adds owl stamped inside the metal pieces. Obviously, no bodywork or anywhere to mount it to yet. So that's the end of issue 20, and in fact the end of the video. So we've done quite a bit in terms of the rear suspension and the framework. We've got one little gun. And we've done a couple of brake discs. So we do have quite a few pieces that we need to make sure we don't lose. I've got a few spare screws as well, so important to keep those because you never know when you might need them. But until next time, I hope you're enjoying your build. Let me know how you're getting on with yours, and please put a comment below what you've seen, what you'd like to see modded. We've got a few ideas for things we're going to do. In the meantime, if you haven't already, click that like and subscribe button and share the video with someone you think might like it. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and in the meantime, take care. Bye.